Hey Libra, welcome to your first half of February reading. This is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest, as well as feel free to check your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for further information or clarity. If you would like to schedule a one-on-one reading, the information is in the description box below, as well as information surrounding the decks that I'm using and an opportunity to donate if you feel so called. But without further ado, let us hop into it and see what you've got going on for the first half of the month, okay? We have the King of Swords. Wait, the Page of Swords. My apologies. There could be some resistance as opposed to like what to do next. What's the next logical move here? You're wanting some type of beginning. You're wanting some type of stability, but it feels like you're still in hibernation mode to a certain degree. We have this Eight of Pentacles reversed because there's some stuff about yourself you feel like is lacking or that you need to refine. Maybe there's a skill that you've got to brush up on a little bit before you can offer yourself a chance to move in a new direction, a chance to make sense of something or a way to move forward. And so it's like, it's not that you don't want it, you just feel like there's some other things that need to be taken care of. We have the Hanged Man reversed too, because it's like you're tired of kind of feeling stuck, of feeling like you're dangling. It's almost like you've stayed in one place for so long, you feel you've outgrown it. But even with that, it's like but we're not quite there yet to get moving. Things are a little unstable where you're at. And so it's like, you're like, I'm really kind of over this. This isn't where I thought I would be right now. It's almost like this isn't what I thought I'd be doing now. I feel like I'd be further along than this. It's like, be kind to yourself. Things happen. A lot of us had a lot of setbacks last year. And it's like, in what way can you come back down to earth and just recognize that everything is happening for a reason, and that maybe you wouldn't be working on what you're working on or refining whatever it is you're refining. Maybe it just wasn't the time to do that before. Let's see what else is going on. We have the Page of Cups. You needed this time for yourself. Maybe you've been really alone throughout most of this, or have been kind of solitary for the most part. It could be that you're really taking into account how you express your emotions. Maybe the places where you're operating from the overflow and where you're not. Giving yourself a chance to check in your cup to see how much you have left, check in the tank, so to speak. You haven't really given yourself much of that opportunity and now it's a time for you to demand it, right? And it could be that perhaps by engaging and refining whatever it is and hoping for this new start, you got to demand it. You got to demand it out of yourself and out of the universe. It's not something you can kind of like be like lackadaisical about and just assume it's going to happen when it happens. Now you're at a point where it's like, yeah, you've outgrown this, so what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? It's just own up to it. And maybe you've just been taking things way too seriously, been really depressed or something, and you've lacked a lot of joy in some capacity, or maybe you've just been engaging stuff that really feeds your ego but doesn't feed you in any other way. It's really beneficial to you. Here we have the Queen of Cups, and so you're thinking about this new beginning and what it would feel like. And you're getting really honest with yourself, shedding a skin, so to speak, in order to perhaps put yourself out there and break bread and make connections with those, so everyone's fed, so everyone's good. Perhaps there are other people that you've abandoned as you've taken this time, or feel abandoned as you've taken this time, or maybe you feel abandoned by them. But either way, it's like, come together with them, offer yourself that fresh start. It could be that things have been there are things that still need yet to be uncovered. There are things that need to be kind of written out or redacted in some way, some type of belief or something here. I feel like there's some type of story you've perhaps been telling yourself, and but not really knowing all of the truth behind it. Here we have this Two of Pentacles kind of as the shadow aspect, and it's like perhaps you've been really scattered, maybe distracting yourself from something that needs to be addressed here, some type of conversation that should be had, or some type of emotion that you need to feel. Maybe you're scared of doing something because it put you in an emotionally volatile place before, giving too much or taking too much. Either way, there's now kind of this maturity that needs to take place, really deciding like, I am finally here to receive something out of this, and it may not be what I thought I wanted to receive initially, and so it may be this kind of begrudging thing to where you're just like, okay, well, this is what it is and I'm gonna own up to it. I thought I was over this. It's like, it's not a bad thing. It's not, doesn't signify necessarily who you are as a person. It's just like pointing you and where you need to go and what needs to be done. It's no slight against you necessarily, but there's like a maturing. There is a part of you that needs to be nurtured, or there's something that needs and deserves to be nurtured appropriately instead of played with. Something that needs to be cultivated instead of played with. It's like you've had plenty of time to process it. Now it's time to embrace it. Yeah, we have this Nine of Cups. It could be that you haven't really thought about others. You've been so focused on the self and caring for the self, which is great, but you've really lost your rhythm when it came to dealing with other people. So much so that now you feel maybe a little left out, a little abandoned, or maybe you've left someone out of the picture because of the reality of the truth that they were offering you. Here with this Page of Swords, we have the Seven of Pentacles. And it could be that there was something that you're just not willing to invest in. You may say that you want it, but you're kind of playing yourself. And through that, you're playing other people. And that's not fair. There's a point where it's like you end up becoming the joke if you start playing too damn much. It's a good thing to do, but there's got to be a discipline in play, right? All right, and we have the Devil with the Eight of Pentacles. There's something that you got to release some type of obsession, release some type of control over something. It could be that you feel like in doing something for yourself, you may be very restrictive, or you may be really tight or controlling when it comes to others, maybe feeling out of control as you're trying to really release yourself from this place where that you feel like you've outgrown, and so it's like maybe you've struggled with some type of addiction or something, and there's maybe something that kind of unraveled that a little bit or reminded you of those times. And it's all because there was something about you that you were trying to bury, or maybe something about the people around you that you were trying to ignore. Either way, there's some type of ignorance that I feel like is at play here. And here with the Hanged Man, we have the Wheel of Fortune. And it's like you're stuck in this space that you feel you've outgrown because you're not doing the right work. You're avoiding certain responsibilities that need to be taken care of. You're not answering the call. You're doing everything else because it's easy, or you're doing nothing at all because it's easier than doing the dang thing that needs to be done. Somehow you feel like it's not in you, or you're better than that, and that's not fair. That's not fair to yourself and whoever else is involved. There's some, it's like you gotta come from a place of even playing field. Everything is worth a certain amount of energy and intention and investment, and compassion. Here we have the Page of Cups with the Death card reverse. It's like with this Page of Cups, there's that demandingness, but not willing to give anything in return, not really recognizing the intention or the essence of where your need, why your need hasn't been met, or the reason behind the need, right? The reason behind this why you play around with things, or why you seek control in some way, or have this obsession. You're not really getting down to like the essence of why that is. Instead, you're just letting it, you're either letting it control you, or you are doing your best to control it, but not really getting to the root cause and inspecting it, and recognizing the self that is at play here. Next, we have the Six of Swords with the Queen of Cups. And so there's some transition into maturity that needs to be made, where you're able to hold things. You're able to hold space for them, to give love to them, to be able to offer new beginnings to others. Perhaps you have a certain narrative or story or judgment that you've held on to so tightly in order to protect yourself, in order for you to kind of keep playing around, in order for you to feel, superior, like you've outgrown, like you've moved on. But it's like, no, it's just a game. It's because you're withholding something. You're withholding something that's not doing you any good. We have the Four of Swords with the Nine of Cups. And it's like there's something that needs to be laid to rest. There's something that has caused a lot of unrest because someone's been feeling left out. Someone has been feeling unloved. And maybe they're an outer expression of how you feel about yourself, or, vice versa. But not really being really economical in terms of energy. Not really like this, it's again that controlling, that obsessive behavior, addicted to feeling some type of way, and therefore not facing reality. It's not doing anyone any good in this space, and is keeping everything at a stalemate. So some real things need to happen. The cup needs to be either offered or given up, given away in some form. Ooh. Okay, Oracle card. Tell it not in words. Pull the one from the bottom. In the dew of little things, heart finds its morning. All right, these are from the Prophet Oracle card set. I'm going to read these to you. So first, we will read the Tell it not in words. There are those among you who seek the talkative through fear of being alone. The silence of aloneness reveals to their eyes their naked selves, and they would escape. And there are those who talk, and without knowledge or forethought reveal a truth which they themselves do not understand. And there are those who have the truth within them, but they tell it not in words. In the bosom of such as these spirits dwell in rhythmic silence. So there's something about communication here that really it needs to be centered upon, recognizing what's being said and what's not being said. There is something that maybe does need to be said, and there's some type of connection that needs to happen. Some type of, really paying attention to the message here. Paying attention to the message. And, I feel like there's someone who's had to explain themselves several times, and, or maybe you've been someone who has, but someone's had to do a lot of explaining, and I don't think it doesn't feel like it's something that goes beyond words and cannot be fully expressed, and it's not fully understood, especially if it only seeks to be understood through words, right? There needs to be some type of realization here. Again, it's not stepping down a notch and not feeling like, obsessed with something. There's an obsession there that's blocking whatever needs to be heard. All right. In the dew of little things, the heart finds its morning. For what is your friend that you would seek him with hours to kill? Seek him always with hours to live. For it is his to fill your need, but not your emptiness. And in the sweetness of friendship, let there be laughter and sharing of pleasures. For in the dew of little things, the heart finds its morning and is refreshed. So there's some type of comparison game going on here, using people in order to fill up something that they can't. They can't fill up your cup. They're unavailable to do so, or vice versa. And so it's like you got to be able to kind of pour into your own first, for people to come together and to share in merriment and abundance. It seems like there was just maybe kind of unfair, unequal kind of transmission of energy and of spirit. You know, perhaps either you or the other person felt really worn down by whatever happened, and there's some type of unfairness there. So, anyways. I hope that was helpful. If you would like further clarity, book a session, a one-on-one with me, and we can go into it a bit further. Otherwise, feel free to donate. I really do appreciate any and all donations, even if it's as low as $1. I don't care. It's always good to feel appreciated. But either way, I will be on here again soon. So enjoy, and until next time.